In this video, we'll continue our study of prefixes with Prefixes Part 2. Just to review quickly what we talked about at the beginning of the first prefixes video, what are prefixes? Prefix is a group of letters added to the front of a root. So prefix plus the root. The prefix changes the meaning of the root word. In the last video, we talked about prefixes of number, so prefixes that add the idea of number to different words. So we took words for half, words for one, for two, for three, for many. And we also studied prefixes of negation, of saying not or against or the opposite of something. Now we're going to have a look at page 76 in the textbook, and there you can see a list of common prefixes related to time and location or place, along with some other important prefixes. So let's take a look at that now. So here, the first group, these are prefixes of time and location. Time and location, or time and place. So first, a very important one, pre. Pre means before. So preview means before viewing something. If you talk about a preview for a movie, it's seeing a short clip of a movie that gives you an idea before you watch the full film. Predestination is an important theological term, especially in Calvinist theology. Theologians also talk about the pre-existence of the Son, that there was never a time in all of history that the Son, Ibn Allah, did not exist. The pre-existence of the Son. Before all things. Before all things. Post. Post is the opposite. Post means after. So post-resurrection means after the resurrection, after the Qiyamah. So there were post-resurrection appearances of Jesus to about 500 people. Also, we are living in post-Mubarak Egypt, right? The Egypt that is after Mubarak. Here, a prefix of location, x. X means out from, out from. Or, and it's also a prefix of time in a way too, because it can mean former, sabiq. So for example, Mubarak, Nasr. The prefix x means formerly, sabiq, or it can mean out from or from. For example, Mubarak, Nasr, Sadat are ex-presidents of Egypt. They are former presidents of Egypt. They were presidents of Egypt, but now they are not. Also, you could say my ex-wife, right? If I got divorced, my wife now would become my ex-wife. My former wife was, but is not now, ex. Over means to exceed or to surpass, to go above and beyond something. So many students are overworked. They have too much work, lots and lots and lots of work. It's too much work for them to do. They are overworked. It's more than what should be. Or, for example, this word is overused. It's used too much, right? People should use many different words, but instead they always use the same word. It's overused. Or I overpaid for my flip-flops means I paid too much money. Maybe I should have paid 15 pounds, but I overpaid because I ended up paying 40 pounds for my flip-flops. You know flip-flops? Shib-shib. Flip-flops. Under. Under means not enough or below something. The boss underpays his workers. This is the opposite, taban, of overpaid. The boss underpays his workers. He pays them less than he should. If he was being fair, he would pay them 4,000 pounds a month, but he underpays them. He only pays them 3,000 pounds a month. Sub. Sub also means under or below. I ride the subway. The subway is the metro that goes underground. فممكن نقول إنه يعني المترو من where من شهداء اللي فين سعد زغلول is a subway because there it's under the ground, a subway. On the other sides of that area, it's above ground, so we can just call it the metro or the train. Another example from history, Hitler, Adolf Hitler in Germany, he believed Jews were subhuman. He believed they were below other humans. They were less than human, subhuman. Inter means between. International conflict is conflict, صراع, between nations. Interpersonal conflict is conflict between persons, or between people. Super means over, above, on top. So a supersonic airplane is an airplane that goes faster, or above, over, faster than the speed of sound. And your boss, or someone who is above you, is called your supervisor. Supervisor, someone who sits above you and views your work. Supervisor. مشرف. Trans means to change, to do again, to go across or beyond. Transformation means to change the formation, to change the look of something. Transformation, التحويل. Transfiguration. This is an important term in the Bible. The transfiguration is التجلي, where Jesus' look, his entire figure, everything about his look was changed on the mountaintop. And transnational crimes, جرائم. Transnational crimes are crimes that cross borders, that cross حدود البلاد أو الدول. If we go down, the next group, these are other prefixes that have a range of different meanings. We'll just go through them quickly. Out means to surpass or go beyond. To outdo one another in showing honor means to try to do more than the other people, to go beyond what they are doing, outdo one another in showing honor. Also, there are many good students, but you are outstanding. متفوق. Outstanding. You stand out from the rest of the students because of the excellence of your work. Co means with or together with. My co-workers. Right? Co-workers are people who work with me. In the New Testament it says we are heirs of God, warithun, and co-heirs with Christ. We are heirs, warithun, مع المسيح. And cooperation, التعاون, to operate or to work together with other people. The prefix pro is the opposite of the prefix anti or anti, which means against. Pro means for or in favor of or in support of. So, back in the days of Morsi, we had some anti-Morsi demonstrations, and we had some pro-Morsi demonstrations, people who were mu'ayyideen, the Morsi. People think that U.S. policy is pro-Muslim or pro-Muslim Brotherhood. People often think that the U.S. supports the Muslim Brotherhood, pro-Muslim Brotherhood. Next suffix, re. Re is very, very common. Re means to do something again. To review your notes means to look at your notes again. Or to reread the book means to read the book again. You should rethink that argument means that you should think again about the argument you were making. Here's a tricky one, maybe unusual one. This one is called pseudo. The P is silent. Pseudo. Pseudo means false or not real or not true. So, for example, pseudonym. Here you can see NYM. This is the original root for name. So a pseudonym is a false name, not a person's real name. Sometimes authors, كتاب, sometimes they will use pseudonyms instead of publishing a book under their true name, they will use a false name or a pretend name, a pseudonym. And this last example is similar, pseudepigrapha. This is important for biblical studies. Pseudepigrapha are texts, ancient texts, that we still have, but that the author's whose name is written with the text is not the real author. This was a common practice in the intertestamental period, for example, that someone would write a text, but then they would say that it was written by some famous prophet or famous figure from ancient days. Everyone knows it wasn't written by that person, but it was written under that person's famous name, pseudepigrapha. So all these texts together are called the pseudepigrapha. Neo is a very important prefix. Neo means new. So neo-Orthodox theologians are a new school or madhab of theologians, neo-Orthodox. Neoplatonism is a new version of Plato's philosophy. اللي هو أفلاطون. And finally, omni is a very important prefix for theological terms. Omni means total or all. And we say about God, for example, that God is omnipotent. Potent means power, powerful. God is omnipotent. Omnipotent means he is kulli al-qudra. That God is omniscient means that he is all-knowing. huwa kulli al-ilm. And that God is omnipresent means he is present everywhere, in all places. هو كلي الوجود أو متواجد في كل المكان. Okay, again, this is just a quick lesson. Please take your time to review these prefixes. Pay attention when you read. You will see these prefixes everywhere if you look for them. And noticing them when you read is the best way to learn them and to understand what they mean and how we use them. Good luck.